Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So today we are going to use the Shaman Tarot, and we're going to use Secrets of the Ancestors. And so no insights are coming through quite yet, except other than ancestors want to talk. Oh, you know what? I did like a little pre-shuffle. Will it happen? Will it happen? No. But when I did a pre-shuffle, it was aliens on the card, and I thought that was cool. But other than that, no message. So let's shake it up and see what the ancestors want to share today. They say, on our healing journey back to home. I like that. Ooh, I'm getting lots of spirit coming in right now. Sorry, just accept it. It's like a whole body embrace, lots of love coming in. They're very excited. This is an exciting message, they say. So the first card to come out was the Deviant, and it says chaos and destruction. So obviously, okay, what are they showing? They're excited because there has been a lot of chaos. So as it said, the healing journey home. They're saying we need to destroy some things so that better things can take place. And this has been a cycle that's been kind of trapped in this for a while. So lots coming through. They say you're really going to need a strong backbone for this. We really need to work on courage and strength. Right? There's a warrior type spirit kind of coming through in this. So the first one to come out pretty much looks like the Tower. So that's what I'm looking at. And so there's a guy sitting up here on this thing that's just being destroyed. But there's something over here. The light, the ancestors, the something. And then over here, next we pulled Father of Earth with generosity. And so there's this guy sitting on a throne. First thing I was drawn to was the two stags, and then how his beard was so long. And like that, this has been going on so long. But mostly it kind of looked like a waterfall to me. And then the next one to come out was in reverse, but it's the Goddess Circle and the Wheel of Change. So that's what I'm seeing over here. There's change coming. There's the Deviant, chaos, and destruction that this seems to be controlling, especially as this says Father Earth. There's a lot of burning of the earth and resources and things like that. And it's like the masculine energy, more so in like the emperor sense, has been taking over the controlling part, not quite the loving, nurturing, growing part of it. And this was in reverse, and I said there was something up here, so that's the ancestors, like watching from above. I'm almost seeing like that, I don't know, that painting on the wall where it's like, is it in the Da Vinci Code? I don't know, and is that in the cap? I got it. I'm going to pause because I really need to know before I can continue this conversation, or else I'm just going to stay stuck on that saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So I'd rather know. Okay, so I found it. And the painting that I keep seeing is called the Apotheosis of Washington. It was painted in 1865 by Constantino Bramudi. The fresco is suspended 150 feet above the rotunda floor and covers an area of 4,664 square feet. It's a polynomial. Anyways, I'm going to show you the picture. Here's like the part that I keep seeing. And then like the full of it is like the roof, how they all kind of like look down like that. And so that's kind of giving me this image. But on this one, it's all the four fathers. And on this one, it's the Goddess Circle. and the change. And it's actually, I kind of learned a lot as I was reading this. So I'm going to read a little bit from this webpage, and then maybe we can get back into the reading. Because it very much has to do with this, because it happened after the Civil War. And so, we already said that. So this Constantino dude was born and trained in Rome and painted in Vatican and Roman palaces before immigrating to the United States in 1852. A master of creating the illusion of three-dimensional form and figures on flat walls, Bermudi painted frescoes and murals throughout the capital from 1855 till his death. His most ambitious work is at the Capitol building, which was painted 11 months at the end of the Civil War. Soon after, the new dome was completed for 40,000, blah, 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 that part's not important. In the central group of the fresco, Bermudi, I'm so bad with words, depicted George Washington rising to the heavens in glory, flanked by female figures representing liberty and victory/fame. A rainbow arched at his feet, and 13 maidens symbolizing the original state's flanked at the three central figures. The word apotheosis in the title means literally the rising of a person to the rank of a god, or the glorification of a person as an ideal. George Washington was honored as a national icon in the 19th century. So first, even just from reading that, I'm getting like Super Bowl images, how Kendrick Lamar, the things that he said was very political in it. And as he talked about, 40 acres and a mule. So after they abolished slavery, they had promised that each person would get their own land to build on and do all those things. And so that's a lot of destruction. But in the performance, he had a sweater on, or his jacket, and it was meant to be the last song on his album, which is Glory. So I found that very interesting to see now, and like this happened at Civil War times. Again, literally means a person to the rank of God, or the glorification of a person as an ideal. George Washington was honored as a national icon in the 19th century. 6 groups of figures line the perimeter of the canopy. Following list begins below. War, with armed freedom and the eagle defeating tyranny and king power. So in the Tower card, it usually has a picture of the king and queen falling out of it after lightning has hit it and it's burning down. We have science, with Minerva teaching Benjamin Franklin and Robert Fulton and Samuel F.B. Morse. Marine, with Neptune holding his trident and Venus holding the transatlantic cable, which was being laid at the time the fresco was painted. So Mercury's all about communication too. Did that one talk about? No, the next one's Mercury. So what was that one? Neptune holding his trident and Venus holding the transatlantic cable, which was being laid at the time it was painted. Commerce, with Mercury holding a bag of money to Robert Morris, the financier of American Revolution. Mechanics, with Vulcan at the anvil and forge producing a cannon and a steam engine. And agriculture, with Ceres seated on the McCormick Reaper, accompanied by American in a red liberty cap and Flora picking flowers. I don't feel like the rest is important. Okay, so that was in the Capitol building. So I don't know much about like US politics and those kind of things because I'm not interested in it, but I just feel like a couple things of like the Kendrick Lamar and the symbolism of what he did, and how he said like the revolution will be televised. And so for this painting happened at the end of the revolution. So it seems like there's been a cycle, and their ancestors were saying that it's been a cycle trapped over and over, and that something was happening and it was breaking out of it. I've got chills and I don't know what I'm talking about. Plus I live in Canada. So I don't follow much of that stuff, but I see that painting. Frescoes have been important this year, And as this one says, there's something to do with deviance, chaos, and destruction. It has to do with fathers that had forefathers in it. And it said it was more of the forceful emperor type rather than this kind, the growing and nurturing type. So now we have the goddess circle and the wheels of change. That change hasn't happened like they said it would, that it's time to, I don't know, I'm seeing that beard, I'm seeing growth, and again, the waterfall, something melting, things that were frozen becoming active again. Let's shake up the next set of cards and that one, see what wants to happen. Very interesting. So this is the deviant card. And as I said, there's like someone sitting up there. And usually it's like lightning. And as I sit here, there's this energy. It's like a David and Goliath. And so it's 7 of fire. What's fire? 7 of wands. And it's so the same energy. It's got all the red. It's got that. It's got like this really mean, and there's like pictures of it. Something to do with pictures. It's going to be televised this time. There's going to be evidence. Because, no, those are freaking TVs or computers, those type things. Cool. What does this want to share? It's a David and Goliath type thing. But here, as that painting all talked about, it was all about like freedom and something, and it was like about tyranny and like getting rid of kingship. And usually in the tower, as I said, the king and all them are kind of falling. But here we have someone in a crown, a golden crown, golden cape, fighting. Like, you can obviously tell it's an unfair battle, but this person has courage. This person's going to stand up, and the gold kind of shows me that it's more of the light. They said like something about courage, and I see that courage as like wisdom, that this isn't a person who goes and uses that force and that tyranny type energy, but and they stand up against this. And there's this person sitting there, and so they're a little bit masked on the top one, and everything's crumbling and everything's following. And why do I keep saying following? I keep trying to say falling, and I keep saying following. So maybe it does have to do with like computers and like social media and following blindly, because oh wow, mad chills. I think that's why I have to wear so many sweaters when I do readings, because this is intense. Why can't I be like on fire like this? They're like, you don't want to feel that, actually. It's not a good feeling. But there's going to be an unfollowing. People following blindly, not really knowing what's on, but the foundations have been cracked and it wasn't built on a good foundation. And so now they're showing me this layer. Like, look, they took it out at the base, right? They think whoever's like kind of on top here, which is this energy, is on top. And they're like, they have to get through all these different levels and layers to get to me. So there's this, and then so there's like guards and this kind of here. I feel like that's like middle class or like working man. And then like this layer, this layer, this layer. And they're like, ha ha ha, you don't see me doing all these things, controlling everything. But it's saying, in fact, it's been right from the base. And so when I look over at this one, he's got knives, axes, clubs. And this one, he just has a stick. He just has a wand with skulls on it. And so the skulls does represent wands. and the skulls they're showing me is fire element, but it also has to do with the ancestors. So the person who's dressed in gold in this story, oh, I feel so much love. I feel so much support. Ancestors have their back. And from that, it seems like this energy that's been trying to control and dominate, they have a pride and ego problem. And so over here, again, with skulls and bones, this was in reverse. And so this one was kind of with the goddess energy. And it it kind of is giving, obviously, Lion King. How can you not think of Lion King when you look at that? And that's like, who's the true leader? And with it in reverse, that's definitely giving Scar energy, right? That's how the land became when Scar took over, because they didn't have the golden. I see the gold as like just the insight and the heart led with the ancestors. So again, there's someone just with the wand. It's almost like that staff. And I almost see like this person just going on like long journeys. Like wherever they go, they're not armed. They don't do things. Like whatever they do and say is, they can take people who are in the most prideful and egotistical sense. And it's just like what they say is like truth and heart. And it just brings about justice. It brings things at the root, because what they're getting is from the divine feminine. Because I really feel like I should have went over to this one first, because this takes out people's egos, takes it out the root, because what they say crushes the foundations that people thought were invincible, that they could get away from all these things. And they're the ones bringing back around this flow and justice as that Cooper Duper. 1 second. So I don't remember if I said, but in that one reading, it talked about how it had to do with the ladies, with liberty and justice. And so now I'm kind of seeing Matt, the scales. I'm also seeing Athena, and yeah, feminine energy coming into this. And so over here, as this person, whoever this person is who's on their like courageous quest, like they're not armed with anything. They literally just have the guidance of the ancestors of what to do, where to go, what to say, and they embody this energy. This energy is so foreign to them. Look, there's that gold coin. This one says generosity. This person is very generous. Now they're kind of bringing it into the two, balanced. Because when I looked over here, no, I read it in the right direction, they said. There's the two snakes kind of coming from her. So the masculine and the feminine. So that's what this person has, just balance. And they show that within this, in the masculine aspect, they have the emperor controlling type energy, but they also have the flow, this generosity that this energy is showing. And below it, I haven't looked yet, but we have, we have water, crystals, and she's a little naked. Let me cover up the boobage, but there she is. And there's all these fish around. The fish is really bringing me to Pisces energy. How Pisces seems to be like that dreamy psychic energy. And that's the ancestors talking through them. But what I would like a little bit of clarification on, I really have not used these cards in a very long time. And I don't know. What are you again? I don't know if that's like princess or queen. So let's just check that. Mother of the seas, or it could be shaman of water. No, it's the mother. It's mother energy, mother goddess. So it's Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is in reverse. It's just going to say whatever. So let me see what insight I've got. Because this one is in reverse. Like I said, it had to do, and I kept talking about a waterfall before, like Frozen. So that's like that feminine mother of the seas. So something to do with the ocean. Let me see what the ocean wants to share. Oh, this is going back to ancestors. The ancestors, and then I'm getting like Lemuria, Atlantis, like I'm talking about times like that. And then the crystals, because it is crystals. I'm getting mostly Atlantis vibes and the seas, and I'm seeing how that flood happened, and how everyone went to different continents, right? Egypt over to Mexico, and so that's why they're showing me migration and coming up. And then from there, it was balanced, they say. There was masculine and feminine energy. The knowledge was sacred in ancient wisdom. And somewhere along the lines, we took away the feminine. We froze her out of our history books. But you can't. And then we just wrote new stories, new chapters. As that was kind of showing, it was like forefathers. It was all masculine. The only thing they talked about was like liberty and justice. But if I'm right, I think, again, like I really don't know what's up when it comes to American things. Learned somewhat, but wasn't there supposed to be 2 statues? And there was only ever one? Now I gotta pause again. I'm sorry, there's so many pauses in this video. Okay, so I guess there's quite a few replicas of the Statue of Liberty, and like France has one there. And in 2021, a smaller replica was temporarily displayed on Ellis Island to celebrate the US-France relations. I don't know how that plays into any of this, but honestly, I heard an answer, but I don't know about this stuff, but I heard Mary Magdalene energy come through. And I don't understand about that. I don't know, maybe you have insights, because I feel like I'm talking about the stuff that I don't know about, but it's coming up and out. So we pull 2 more of the shaman ones, and then how many of this? They say just 1. So this is a cycle that they say that has been going on and on and on. It seems like the masculine energy has been stuck in the controlling thing, focusing more on the pentacles aspect of it and money rather than generosity of healing and growth. They've iced out the feminine energy in this, but you need it for balance. And in history, it used to be balanced, but there seems to be a change. And now there's 2 more that came out. And then this one goes on the top. And this is, oh, it's that one. What about it? This is like what's capping this situation. Because again, there's this golden person who's like with the ancestors. The ancestors tell them what to do, where to go, how to talk and think and speak. And that's all they say is just words. And these words crush foundations. And the people at the top really think like you have to get through all these layers and levels. And there's so many fools and things that you'll never know that it's me controlling everything. But that foundation has already been cracked and crumbling. And it's going down. I'm yelling timber. You better move. You better dance. And then, interesting. So there's this feminine energy, right? That has been iced out. And so the one at the top, it was in reverse. But I don't see it as not that. I see that as like turning on the floodgate and it pouring into this fire energy. This fire, there's the destruction, all these things. I see it a little bit as this golden person has the heart and the emotions, and they can control that. And so for them, it says, Father of water, balance of harmony. And they're coming in to put out the fire that others have started by disregarding emotion and love and kindness into any plans. And so on the 2 end caps that have like, stop this cycle, because that's what I'm kind of seeing. I'm seeing energetically spirit come in and be like, whoa. And so now these people used to have free range to go do all these things. Now it's like bookends. And so now there's this emotion, this outpouring, and whatever this person says, it's from the heart. It doesn't matter. It's golden. It's from spirit. And this cycle has been allowed to go on and on and on, but it was all about timing, because planetary aspects, they're telling me, or something like that. I'm getting cold again. And so over here we have Ace of Drums, and you better dance. Drumming, dancing of the earth. And then over here we have three of drums. So there's this calling, this beat, this something. You can't stop it. It's going to be shook out. And I can't help but see the crabs. So there's an ending of this. There's the water, but there's this crab in the bucket mentality, because these are both in reverse. You can't stop this. You can't stop the beat. You can't stop the rhythm. Everything has been planned, and now's the time, they say. And like this mentality of, and look, there's like buildings that looks like a city, and then like the water. I don't know, there's something to do with like Statue of Liberty or something like that. And so it ends the crab in the bucket mentality of coming back to this tower, how there was the middle people and the other people, and like those people getting crushed and squished and those things. But I hear that the water of this, because it's going to bring balance and harmony, that there will be change. This wheel, you couldn't stop this wheel forever. So we've got this bookends, and people are starting to have more heart, more emotion. They're starting to think for themselves, because before it was like what the following. People were followers. They were told what to do, what to think. Yep, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And now they have this feeling that old things within them, old lives, old things that they've experienced. There's this, it's like deja vu. It's like what was that? Civil, whatever, happening again. It's like history repeating itself. And it's like, we've been through this. We're seeing the same things over and over again, but we're in a time now where everything is televised, right? It was on those computers. What card is that? Oh yeah. There's computers there. And like, there's the face. You can't hide the face. And that's what I'm kind of seeing too. It's like, be very mindful of the things that you watch. I'm almost seeing like debates and things. They're trying to trick you to think. It's almost like mind manipulation, right? Trying to take the hope of people. But there's this water, this emotion, it's these things. And it's like, because you've had past lives in these times, you don't know why you think and feel this way. You got spirit, you got this, and then you have this like golden child. That's what we'll call them. And they're coming and they're saying things, and it's waking things up within you that like you hear that call home. It's like, actually, I remember deep inside me this place of peace. And that place of peace and that balance and that feminine aspect, that masculine aspect. There's really 4 aspects to each. There's the light aspect and the dark aspect, blending together. That's what real stability. That's why there's no foundation. That's why that foundation was so easily taken out by just words. And so to incorporate the masculine, the feminine, the light and the dark, as above, so below, that's how you build the real tower. I'm seeing now a nice blend of this one, the Father of Earth, with the nature and the plants and the healing, and to do with this one, with the city and the concrete jungle. They both can exist. They can, and it should have. technology and advancements and cool things like that. We're not saying we don't want you to do those things, but we don't want you to do it on the backs of other people holding it up in the middle. We want you to swallow your pride and let things be the way that they are. Be mindful of what you see on TV, and use your heart in this, because there's this feminine energy that's supposed to be coming back. It's slowly but surely, it's time, and it's like rhythmic. And they're also saying a little bit with the rhythm, things are waking up, boom, boom, boom. But I almost see like someone knowing like how to talk, how to speak, how to make you think what they want you to think. So be right. Don't get so phased in. It could even be like music and musicians and things like that, like a hypnotic siren call type thing that keeps you asleep. It's time to wake up. That's what that drum is. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Because now it's time for balance and harmony. They're showing me the flood is going to be intense. Lots of emotions, lots of that. So it could be despair or rage, because like, how do we let this happen? But they're saying like balance and harmony. Like we need to balance the 4 aspects. Things need to fall. So I seen a shift. And in this shift, there's 2 realities going on at the same time. And it's time to find like the blending of the 2. Where's that middle ground of them? And just try to stay in there. Don't get overly emotional and don't get overly greedy and angry. There's this, keep it cycling. The goddess circle. What does the goddess circle want to share? Because they say they haven't really been able to share for a while. It brought it to this one, and how I kept seeing this cycle, and like we got Egypt, it's mostly Egyptian, but on here, and then like this one, it almost was like they said that it all happened on our back, that this weight has been on our back for a while. And then I heard, don't step on a crack or you'll break your mother's back. And then there's the cracks and foundations have happened. Now I'm being drawn to Horus. And I don't know, there's just gonna be balance and justice and everything. So there are things that are gonna you're not gonna like, but it's like, especially when you're in this moment of like rage and like things, they're like, how like people like tend to go and riot and those kind of things. Like this is a peaceful one. There are things that you'll have to stand up for and be courageous, but we don't want you to lose yourself in it. Keep your compassion and your humanity, but don't let people take advantage of you. And be very mindful of what you see on TV, because they're trying to trick you still. They know the right words to say, but it's not quite matching up in the actions. And they're saying that this golden person comes, like you'll feel it, because it's love, it's truth, but it will cut through. And people's pride, those prideful people, will no longer be able to be king of the jungle, because again, no more kings, no more controlling and ruling. It's going to be balanced and harmonious. And so, yeah, that one has a crown, that golden crown, but that's like spiritual. That's like, they're not a king. They will never call themselves a king. They're equal. That's how they see themselves. Everyone equal. But to some who are looking down at them, they will definitely bring them to the same level. So with that, we'll leave it there. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Me again. So after that reading, I've just been sitting here and pondering it. And like, there's just so much to it. I feel like I'm still in the reading. Like, there's so much symbolism to this that since I kind of like went in, it's like I would pull on one piece of information and pull and pull and pull and pull, and this would lead to this, would lead to this. And I found so much things that like I could make this reading be forever. But there's just one thing that I want to kind of share, and then leave the rest for you to go out and find, because there's so many connections that aren't that hard to find. It was in the reading. If you open your eyes and anything today, like it's in your face. But the one part that I kind of got like mad chills over was, we're gonna bring it back to this picture and the computers and the following, and so as the picture, I always say the wrong freaking word. What is it called again? Apotheosis of Washington, which is all about like rising up to glory. At one part, I knew I tripped up on Mercury and the Marine, and Mercury is all about communication. And so in the part I want to like reread was the Marine, the Neptune holding his trident and Venus holding the transatlantic cable, which was being laid at the time the fresco was painted. So this transatlantic cable, I didn't know much about it, but I did get that it was for communication. So that's why I thought Mercury was there. And then what was Mercury for? Handing out bags of money to Robert Morris, the financier of the American Revolution. But anyways, Marine transatlantic cable. And so I kind of went and I looked into it a bit more, like what's up with this transatlantic cable. And I had it on the right spot, but now it went all the way. Okay, so pretty much in conclusion, well, we'll start at the beginning. To summarize the transatlantic cable, it began as a means of telegraphy, like Morse code, do 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 do. And then over time, it got adapted to telephone communication and eventually data transmission. The fiber optic cables of today, which started to take shape in the 1980s, allowed massive amounts of data to be transferred, eventually making the internet possible. Modern undersea cables from the global infrastructure that powers much of the internet, supporting everything from social media and emails to online banking and streaming services. Without these undersea cables and the continuous technological advancements that followed, the internet as we know wouldn't exist. So as this reading was talking about, it kept talking about, and then the revolution will be televised. This time, we're so connected as a global community that things used to happen before, and like it would be things like letters or things, but we could twist and manipulate and hide information. But things are so instant now that on the internet, it's just interesting that that was one of the things that they like bragged about, was like, you know, after the civil revolution or whatever, and then they made it as like Washington becoming a god. And so we have this circle of gods and goddesses. It's in reverse. And I was just sitting here pulling more cards. And so I had the ancestor ones, and I just looked at the bottom. And on the bottom was the patriarch. And then I felt like just breaking it in half, and it was the matriarch in reverse. And I just thought, how like it's still playing this, like I'm still in whatever it is that this reading is. And there was one more part that I wanted to share with you, and all of a sudden it's not going to come to me. Maybe that's an insight for you to go figure out. Wait, let me go to the end here. Oh yeah, that whole painting was all about after the Civil War, and like how let me see. It just wasn't quite right. Oh yeah, so this painting was all about them like being glorious and how they did all this, but the painting created post-Revolutionary War is a celebration of America's founding, which it said in here like it's broken because there wasn't any of the matriarch in it. And But as you, this is my words, it doesn't address the ongoing oppression of Black people in slavery, which remained entrenched long after the revolution. So as it kept talking about like their independence and all these things, but their foundation was built on the backs of other people. And so at one point in here, these are all Egyptian gods and goddesses, but it's built on the backs of others. And then there is something to do more with feminine energy. But the seas, there was a lot of talk of the seas and the ocean, and there's that transatlantic cable going through the seas. So I just thought that was really cool, and I really wanted to share that with you. So there's so much more, like the gold crown, the everything. I already saw so many, but I feel like it's a treasure hunt for you to also go find, and maybe you come to the same conclusions, or maybe you see something that I didn't see, because this is a cool reading. So we'll leave it there. I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.